Good morning. For our third painting, we are going to paint Asgard and the fortress. And it's going to be on top of a mountain. And we will start with a yellow glow. This will be coming out from the fortress, which will look like a shiny thing on top of a high mountain. I'm taking some red and I'm just shaping first the top of the fortress and then dragging the paint down so that it will not be too strong because I want it to blend with the yellow. And later on, when I finish my painting, I will put another layer of yellow on top of this so that it's not so red. So just shape it however you like. You can imagine how you would like your fortress to be. Actually, my fortress here is a bit too large than what I now think should be. You can make yours a little bit higher and smaller and more far away. Now for the mountain, I'm using blue and red. I'm going with blue first to make the shape of the mountain, and here you can see me make curved lines, and I'm painting it horizontally from side to side. And I'm making many layers of the mountain, so it's not just one mound that's very round. There's many cliffs and a lot of lines on it and cracks and things. And then I'm going over it with some red to make some texture. And you don't have to blend red and blue here very equally. As you can see, I'm leaving the left side more blue and the right side more red. And this gives out the shape of a very rough mountain more. So here I'm just making the blue more strong, and I'm adding a lot more moisture so that the red and the blue can blend a little bit, but also putting some stronger lines. So you can experiment with this. There are no hard rules to follow. I'm also making my glow a little bit bigger because I ended up with a very big fortress. And I'm just dragging the yellow paint out and out with just water. Now I'm going to start with a tree. This is Midgard now. This is the land of men, and it's lower than Asgard, which is the land of the gods. And I'm using yellow first, then cleaning my brush, and then taking a bit of blue to blend it to make green. So the blue will go to the grass and the leaves first before I go to the trunk, because the trunk will have to have equal amounts of yellow, blue, and red to make a brown later on. Now I'm going to the red, and I'm first decorating the trees and the grass. I'm putting some flowers and apples, and as you can see, I used it on the mountain a little bit, but what I was really trying to do is to make the red not too strong so that I can make the brown of the trunk, as you can see, as you saw earlier. So now I'm taking yellow after cleaning the brush, and I'm making a thick line of yellow, which will be the base of our rainbow. I'm dipping very, very little red and making a thin line. I'm holding my brush this way so that the line will be thin, and I'm blending the red down to the yellow to make a bit of orange in between, but I'm leaving a lot of the yellow untouched because the yellow will also blend with the blue underneath. And for the blue, I'm starting from the middle and pushing it up to make some green, and then I went back to the red to make purple. So please note that I'm using very thin lines, and I don't put the color on top of each other. I put it beside and then I blend in the middle. Now I'm wetting the paper with just water, and then I'm going to dip in the blue. So I wet it with water first so that the blue will spread out more evenly rather than settling into dots. And I'm pushing it around, but I'm not covering all of the sky in blue. I'm leaving some spots white to make clouds. And I want you to, every time you make a move, you look at it and see how you can push the paint around to make spaces for clouds, and some will be very blue for the sky. And I'm also darkening the side of the fortress and looking at the paper for big white spots that I can fill in with the sky. So I'm brightening the fortress a little bit, and at the end I washed the whole fortress again with some yellow paint so that it looks more orange, as you can see here. So in doing this painting, I want you to use all of the techniques that you learned in the past and adding the special new techniques of using the brush sideways to make the very thin lines for the rainbow. And before you start the rainbow, please make sure that the paper is not too wet, too shiny, so that you can control the yellow line and the rest of the rainbow. Because if it's too wet, it might just spread all over your paper. Alright, so enjoy your painting.